a very nice contain here from all aspects of, from all corners of this, all exits of this natural expansion. Sunmi in a lot of trouble here. Turret going up. That turret may just be able to catch that one lurker in sight. We'll find out very shortly if that tank attacks it. But no, he's going to move out before that can happen. And no, actually, trying to send those lurkers out further. No, they're going to back off after all and just hang out in the corner and try to take out as many units as they can. 2 comsats now, so those lurkers going to go down. Although these 2 lurkers doing a good job of taking out a few more Marines in the process of that attack. These lurkers over here are going to still slow down Sunmi from coming out until he gets that science vessel out, which is finally building. Definitely a little bit slow. But, you know, obviously he's focusing on other things at this point. You can see Sunmi's APM is doing a really good job of staying over 400, actually. He's really on top of things up there, it would appear anyway. We're looking at a hive going down now for Saga, so we can expect to see some defilers with the amount of lurkers that he has out and Scourge and things like that. He certainly can't support an ultralist build quite yet. He's got to get another base up and running. Usually 4 bases where you can really start supporting a good ultralist build. Couple of Scourge out too as well to probably protect against any science vessels. And if you look at this wall or this site wall, I'd call it, he's got pretty much all areas covered, so it's going to be difficult for Sunmi to sneak out with a dropship or something like that from his base. So I do like that. I like when units, especially, when players burrow their units around the map. We've seen pro players do this in the past, and it's really, it's almost like map hack, you know? Unless the Terran player is really on top of things, he doesn't catch it. And a lot of lurkers going down, taking a lot of shots on those tanks, but they're going to have to back off as the tanks are fairly easily outranging them. And again, trying to push in, going to get a couple more shots at, wow, taking out, well, not that many, a few Marines, doing some damage to the tanks, but not enough. He's going to have to back those lurkers off and basically use them as delay tactics now until he gets out that defiler tech. Pretty much that's what he's waiting for at this point. And that lurker actually taking out a couple of tanks. That's going to slow Sunmi down quite a bit. This is going to be the slowdown force right here as we wait for defiler tech to come in. Although he is upgrading both Carapace and melee attack, he may be going for an ultralist build after all. Another drone in position to start that expansion up, but that's a mineral only, so no gas there. It's going to make it very difficult to go off go into a ultra build. And Saga losing a lot of lurkers somewhat carelessly here, not getting his money worth from them. And this is the force that is going to make the world of difference if it can. It's going to try to slow Sunmi down as much as possible. Sunmi a little careless, kind of putting too many Marines in the face of danger there. And here we see the slowing down of the game that we were talking about. Or I was talking about. I'm not really talking with anyone. I'm not schizo, I swear. So basically, he's going to keep burrowing and unburrowing those lurkers. And that's going to force Sunmi to keep sieging and unsieging his tanks. And that's just going to decrease the speed at which Sunmi can push into his base, because that's a dangerous force. Here is the defiler. The question is Consume ready? It looks like it might be, yes. He just consumed a couple right there. He's full of magic, and he's able to make a couple of swarms at this point. We'll see if he's researching any other tech quite yet. No, but he is making as many defilers as possible. He's got a good amount of gas to support a defiler build. And I think he may be saving up for oh, there is the swarm. And 2 swarms go down right before the units die. So very nice swarm, actually. He's going to try to keep the lings in there. And, oh, the tank's running right into the swarm. That's going to hurt. So those lings and that swarm, very good swarm. I don't know why Sunmi isn't just getting out of there. He's going to try to take out another tank before all his units go down. And but definitely a good swarm there. That drone trying to expand in the 12 o'clock position, not going to happen. This base now up and running, so we do see 4 bases at this point for Saga. Pretty decent saturation of drones. And now the Ultralist Cavern is coming out after all. I would like to see some Scourging going on over here. I mean, he had some Scourge on the field before. I don't know where they've gone to. They may have died early. But if he can Scourge those science vessels, he'll be in a pretty good position to really get into this match and take a lead. It looks like we're going to see some SK Terran build here coming from Sunmi. So Sunmi going to definitely dedicate to a science vessels medic marine tank build, which is probably the way to go, especially against ultras and defilers. Heavy irradiation is going to really try to swing the game back in his favor. And here we see the Scourge that we were talking about. It's got about 6 or 8 Scourge out, it would appear. Maybe some more elsewhere. But that's going to really be a good deciding factor in equalizing the game if he can get that many Science Vessels up. At this point, Marine's kind of just hanging around in the back. I don't know if that's just mispositioned or trying to take some shots on those Scourge. Hard to say, actually. And they're going to move around, but they are going to be sighted from the Scourge, I would imagine. Although Scourge sight range is pretty poor, they should be able to see that. So now Sunmi pushing forward, and we're going to see if... some lurkers going down in the backfield. Good swarms. That's going to push Sunmi into a forward position in front of his base, and he's going to basically try to do a pincer attack. Sunmi okay, though. He's got an exit up here if he needs to get away from more swarms. And more good swarms going down. Wow. Oh, man, those Marines in a lot of trouble. Yeah, definitely a little tough. Another good swarm. A lot of swarms out on the field. The Marines not being able to move quite out in time, although most of them are saved. A lot going down. I would expect to see some plague coming shortly from, it looks like energy upgrade coming now. I don't know if he's got plague yet. He kind of needs the energy upgrade before he can do plague anyway, so I guess it's up to him which he wants to get first. Consume, though, obviously a very important factor in this game. It's basically free energy for, well, not free, cheap energy for defilers. And those lurkers just going to hang out over there, try to draw the Marines into them. And here we see the Science Vessels with no Scourging, the power of them, as they just get defilers and lurkers. And that defiler just barely getting down one swarm. Nope, 2 swarms. Sorry, here's a defiler. Can't even tell what's what. Although he's got a pretty good separation on the units of Sunmi, doing a pretty good job at taking out a lot of the units. Of course, siege mode does not affect lurkers that are under the cover of swarm. At least when they're burrowed. When they're unburrowed, they do take damage. And those lurkers are going to take out what looks to be another tank if he's a little careless. And one tank goes down, but the other tank is just barely saved, going out of range in time. Sunmi, in the meantime, discovering the 12 o'clock location, found that the hatchery is done and is going to take that out. 2-1 upgrades. Very nice for him. We'll see where our boy Saga is at. He's at 1-1, so fairly... Well, no, the Terran player is certainly ahead in upgrades, and so Sunmi is going to have a little bit of an advantage there, especially with the dual E-bays. We should see Saga continuing his upgrades, and he's about to hit 2-2. He's also got his Ultra upgrades coming, and play going off. He caught all of the Science Vessels, it would appear anyway. A couple of swarms going off, a couple of Zerglings caught up in the melee as well, and trying to do some eraser with that Science Vessel, which has also been plagued. One Scourge taking it out. Very, very good Scourge right there. That could have been bad for his drones. And I think we just saw some Ultras coming out somewhere. I misclicked them. There we go. So there are Ultras on the field. Their upgrades are now at 2-4. Heavily upgraded, but not fully. So we should see the continuing upgrades over here shortly. Speed is now upgraded as well. So the Ultras are almost completely upgraded. They could use another +1/+1 in both attack and defense, and then they'll be in a pretty good position to really do a lot of damage, although 2-4 is pretty good, especially against not fully upgraded Marines being at 2-1. So that'll still work out in his favor at this point, although I think he's really got to push his advantage home early now that he has it. More Scourging going on, taking out a whole bunch of Science Vessels, down to 2. Plenty of magic, though, for Irradiate, and that Defiler is irradiated, although it looks like he's going to get a couple of swarms off before it's too late, although no more for him. Those very nicely done. The Ultras and Lynx take out the entire Medic Marine force, and the Irradiate only helping the cause at this point. However, certainly going to do a lot of damage to the Ultras as well. And the Ultras being irradiated is debatable how cost-effective that is. And there we see the Irradiate. It's actually helping him do damage to the Marines, actually. Although it does eventually go down under fire. The Ultras being irradiated is kind of a double-edged sword because as it fights the Marines, and I'm sorry, we're missing some sort of attack up here. It looks like we tried to see a little bit of a Ling run by again later in the game, taking out quite a few units.